Good day, people of God, followers of Christ. This is Double MG Minister Marcus Gay on the behalf of NLK, No Life Kingdom Worship and Development Center, with another daily bread for you from the Lord. Today is Wednesday, July the 24th, 2024, in the year of our Lord. Today's daily bread is coming from Deuteronomy chapter 8 and verse 11. Let us read. Beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God, in not keeping his commandments and his judgments and his statutes, which I command thee this day. So the Amplified says this: beware that you do not forget the Lord your God by not keeping his commandments, his precepts, and his statutes, which I command you today. So when I see this, it's so powerful, because when we read this, first of all, you got to understand something. The first word is beware, but to really beware is not saying that beware in a sense is like to be afraid, but it's more of be on guard, right? Be on guard. And then when you get deeper in the translation of this word beware, it's saying like be on guard, that you even protect yourself from thorny kind of like a rose bush, a real roses that grow, and there's thorns on those stems where the roses are on, right? Those thorns are there for protection, that you should actually surround yourself like that spiritually, so you're so consciously aware of doing what God has called you to do. The problem with us as a people, unfortunately, what happens is we're very disobedient. And when we're disobedient, that's equivalent to us forgetting God, right? Forgetting what God has done for us, forgetting the things that God has called us to do. When we're disobedient, that's what that is. That's why it says, beware that thou forget not the Lord thy God. God wanted me to remind you of, forget not the things that he's done in your life, where he's brought you from, where he's brought you to. Forget not what he did for Abraham, Isaac, Jacob. Forget not what he did for David and Samson and Solomon. Forget not what he's done for Moses. Forget not what he's done for Minister Marcus. Forget not the Lord thy God. But to truly forget not is to be obedient and to do his will and his word and his way for your life. The enemy is a very worthy adversary that works overtime to get you to forget what God has done for you, forget what God has called you to do. But God is reminding you today with this daily bread to forget not. What are we forgetting not? Not only what God has done for us, but we're not forgetting his commands that he's given us. The things that we're to follow and actually let God lead and direct our lives. His statutes, his judgments, and he command us this day. So this day you've been commanded to forget not God, to remember what God has called you to do and to do it. Forget not what God has done for your life. Stop living like God doesn't exist, like he's a fable that you once heard of. But I want to encourage you today to forget not the God of everything. God has more for you in store than you can even imagine. But it requires obedience. The sole way that you can really obey God, to really do what God's will for your life, is by getting in the word and being obedient to what God calls you to do. Full obedience is really what it's required to be a person of God. To really forget not God is to be obedient when you're not comfortable. To be obedient when you're not really sure or confident in doing some things. If you look at history tells us that obedience is what made the difference in the Bible. Abram had to be obedient before he became Abraham. Come on, somebody. So we got to understand that it takes obedience, and that's the only way we're going to forget not. Forget not the Lord thy God. I want to encourage you today to go out and just stand on faith. Be confident and bold in God, not in your own abilities, your own capabilities, but that you serve a God that cannot and will not fail you. Go out today and forget not that He is God, the Alpha and Omega, the beginning and the end. Before there was a beginning, there was God. So I want to encourage you today to forget not and live like you remember. God bless you. God keep you. This has been Double MG, Minister Marcus Gay, on behalf of NLK, New Life Kingdom Worship and Development Center, with another daily bread for you, reminding you to forget not. I love you, and I'll see you soon. God bless.